It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Hi guys, good afternoon. 26th of September 2019. It's a 2 p.m. CT. Piotr here. We are going to cover USGDP live. We have a like 27 minutes. So let's start with risk warning, guys. Please bear in mind trading FX on margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for investors who can sustain a lot of some or your initial investment. So please do not invest the money you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Okay, so I'm going to focus on 4 instruments today. Is a euro dollar, dollar yen. That's the main focus. Then gold. You know, I like the current action on the gold to the downside, and I'm going to explain what I think by that, and I'm going to use euro pound in case of some kind of the price action eventually. Because I've seen a little bit of the weakness on the pound this morning, but then euro joined the party. We broke 940, and right now we're testing 925. And don't forget, guys, we are talking about that this morning. 109.25 around billion in expiration. So in case of you know, some surprise to the downside from the GDP, US GDP, we might see the option traders in action, covering or defending the level, and we might see the rally higher. Then we know that there is a there is above 6 billion on 110, right? So the range is defined. Yeah, like 80 pips, right? So that's euro dollar. Of course, still is valid the bull scenario. Still is valid the bear scenario. But of course, we move a bit lower from the level which been discussed this morning. There was no attempt to break through Tokyo high. Straight move to the downside. Now, as you can see, on the euro dollar. As you can see, it was the one-way ticket. Now the last almost 2 hours, there is something going on, something much more interesting here. As you can see, the volatility is a little bit higher, so there is something going on here. We will see. Always someone knows better than us. Then dollar yen, as I said, I put the money where my mouth was. I'm long dollar yen, as discussed this morning. But yeah, so pessimism is growing on my side, because we cannot go through this weekly open, right? And we trying to get back below that latest weakness, meaning that we might activate the last supply here, right? So hopefully it's going to be like, you know, the flag. I know that some seen inverted head and shoulders, but in that case my stop is going to be might be moved out of the market. Anyway, closer we are going to get towards the GDP, then probably I will move my stop much higher. Okay, that's how I see the things here. Gold, it's mostly based on what we have on the weekly. This big blue zone is a supply based on the weekly chart, plus possible head and shoulders. It maybe it's not very visible very well, but that's the thing. When the head and shoulder is so visible, then there is a good chance it's going to be broken. In that case, especially yesterday price action, some kind of the confirmation that the bears are still active here. So looking to sell the rallies towards 15.22 with the stop above 30, targeting 14.40, 14.15. But I do understand there is a still risk that the bulls may try to defend 14.85, 14.80. Okay. And the euro pound, you know, they hit the first target without executing the buy order. I've been waiting in the middle of that yellow zone. We didn't hit quite that level yesterday. We didn't hit that level today. So first we went higher, hitting the supply. Now we are pulling back, and I'm not sure if I wanna to trade here right now. But I'm going to monitor very carefully. There was a little bit of the fun during the European session, as some EU officials were saying that in regards to the Brexit, that they are nowhere. It's like dead end. Then some junior UK officials are saying that very close to the agreement of reopening the withdrawal agreement, right? It was like within the 10 minutes distance time. So yeah, we will see. Of course, we shouldn't forget that it's end of the quarter and the end of the month time. So especially today, in case someone wants to close their business, make the settlement in spot in October. So today is the day. So I do expect some manipulation around the London fixing, as well as some manipulation towards the end of the session, end of the New York session. Okay, still some time. Any questions? So it's a good moment to try to ask the question. Let's have a look what we have on the media side. Here is from Fitch rating. Agency. And the full text for yeah. What else we have? Nothing extraordinary. So as we are approaching, end of the month, end of the quarter, let's have a look what we have on euro dollar from higher time frame perspective, right? Let's switch a little bit higher and let's have a look where we are, what we are working with. So if you remember, in June there was an attempt to move higher based on the latest weakness, based on the breakout, the consolidation. Anyway, we are trying to hold 111.60, but then the next month, July, strong breakdown. Then the August retest rejection. Right now looks like retest rejection. So overall, from higher time frame perspective, what I've been trying to tell you on the bigger picture, probably we are on the way towards parity or maybe even lower. I know it sounds crazy right now. But that's the view for quite some time. Some long-term perspective is euro dollar below the parity. There is a chance that they may try to hold this over-under formation here around 105. If you remember, 105. So that's also the possibility. Well, if we agree that was the consolidation, all right, without the upper shadows, the highest close, the lowest close, without the shadows. So then 50% is being broken right now. This 50% of that consolidation was somewhere around 110, right? And we are below the psychological 110 level, so from that perspective might be a little bit lower. I've been thinking that we are about to retest 115, 116. If you remember some time ago doing this long-term analysis, that's what I've been thinking about. I was wrong. The high was here probably, no, the high was when we did it somewhere here. Anyway, we didn't hit quite the my supply level, and since they were falling on this long-term chart without me. Now let's switch to the weekly chart, because here few things are very visible, especially the price action from the second week of May, right? So somewhere here. That created the possible buying zone, okay? And the bottom of that zone is around 108. For quite some time we're discussing that's the possible target, as well as the gap here is a post-French election gap, all right? So yeah, that's what we might see, I would say, rather sooner than later, okay? Rather sooner than later. So as long as we are below 1150 and then 1225, 1250, the risk is still strongly to the downside. And you know, from the long and medium term perspective, for now, rallies, that's the opportunity to try to take the advantage and be on the short side on euro dollar. That's how it looks from monthly and weekly. Daily chart perspective, we may have a discussion about this possible channel. All right, so something around 860, that's the bottom of the channel. All right, with eventual stop count, we might see somewhere close to 830, 820. Lower shadow trying to close inside the channel and eventually rally towards the top of the channel, so trying to get back above 110. Now, of course, what we've seen lately is this horrible German PMI, manufacturing German PMI. So I think going even lower to the intraday chart, that's the yellow box, right, is what short term might bring some kind of the relief rally. So in case of market moving back above, right, because this is a PMI, we might see some relief rally on euro dollar. So short term, that's the zone. We have to be aware of. It's some kind of the like bull bear line, I would say, that how we can call it, right? Ten minutes left. Hopefully, taking into the consideration that it's end of the month, end of the quarter, we are going to have some kind of the fireworks, right? So, of course, if we are going to get the good number, be prepared that stocks is going to get the support, and probably dollar yen as well, via President Trump Twitter account, right? So probably we are going to get some tweets that, oh, how great it is. But guys, yesterday there was something strange. President Trump was forced to tweet twice the same. Somewhere right after the US Open, he was tweeting that the deal with China might be sooner than some things. And we didn't react. Then the 2 hours or 3 hours later, President Trump tweeted the same again, and finally algo caught the news. So that was funny story. We have to remember I'm targeting 108 in between 108 108.20 on this dollar yen. We have to remember about the option expiration at 108, right? There is a good chunk of money sitting there. So from options market perspective. And the goal, just to be on a safe side everywhere, that's the possible supply zone, right? There was information going on this morning from Chinese media that Chinese were buying a lot lately from US. Of course, we are going to get the details once the trade balance is going to be presented. We'll see. So the pre-market futures went higher. But I would say the important thing is here from this Chinese yuan perspective, we got back above 710, right? We were rising strongly yesterday. There's a little bit of the profit taking going on right now. The thing is that I saw the article yesterday saying that in 2020 there might be few more big bankruptcies going on in China, so that's the thing here. We have this euro dollar pop, we have pound pop right now, a little bit of the pullback on the dollar yen. So looks like the option guys, or it's news related or no. Repo was oversubscribed again. Looks like the options guys are working with this 0925 on euro dollar. So suddenly Tokyo high might be in play. So again, let's have a look what kind of the corrections we've seen 2 days ago. It didn't work out this morning, so maybe it's going to work out right now. Okay. Around 3 minutes left. So as we have still 2 minutes to go, let me show you dollar index chart and where we are, and why the wild price action here still possible. And that's the dollar index chart daily, and we are finishing the business here, guys, right? So ideally we hit that one over here, right? So it's adding to my worrisness about my long dollar yen currently, but yeah, we'll see. So it's very important. The first support is at the open we've seen on Tuesday. So that's the thing. Let's get back to our platform. Well, if that was the consolidation on the dollar yen, right? So that was the stop hunt. So it would be great to see them going up again, breaking weekly open. Otherwise, gonna be challenged. So guys, good luck. As you know, from the morning I'm still long dollar yen. I'm gonna move my stop higher currently, and I'm gonna to work with jeez. I'm going to go with this shadow. So I'm narrowing by 10 pips my stop loss. Eventually, if I'm going to be stop out and market will turn around again, I will work with that one more time. 20 seconds left, guys. Good luck, everyone. Five seconds. And there we go. Weekly open again. Weekly open again. No disappointment as expected. Trade balance minus 72.8 versus 73.4 estimate. So tiny move in favor of so watching carefully this weekly open here on the dollar. That's the key here right now, as we can see. So we hit the stops to the downside based on this consolidation. Right now we hit the stops to the upside based on that consolidation. In case of breakdown from that consolidation, if we are going to double that one, right, it's here. So I'm going to narrow much more my stop to just 10 pips. Just 10 pips. I don't like this price action right now over here. I don't like this upper shadow. Weekly jobless claims, 213 to 12 expectations. So let me put it on the chart. Core PCE. GDP. Devil is always in details, so let's have a look what we have here. Not that bad. Come on, dollar yen, push it higher. Gold is trying to hold this, so if they can double, that might be our short setup. Okay, switching to 15-minute chart on the dollar yen. You know, I'm not so happy with what I'm seeing here right now. So at some point I might decide to cut that one. But nice pullback on euro dollar. So you know, there is no disappointment. So I think that if someone is counting on the triple bottom at 925, better be careful, guys. Plenty of stops below, and to be honest with you, well, I'm doing that very, very rarely. So ideally, correction, we're ready to go and break the stops below probably. So one more time higher, guys, and maybe I will join the party. It's not the optimal. It's not my level. It's not optimal level. I would prefer some attack on the Tokyo high as well as Monday low. That would suit me better. Missed a bit that one. they can't handle this 107.70 on the dollar yen, but once they are going to break it, that could be something. Then daily open around the Monday high, so between 70.77, that's the big challenge as we can see for the dollar yen, for the bulls. Oh, it doesn't look good. That might be just test. That's the line of the defense and been tested twice or 3 times already. That's the latest weakness ahead of the data. So I don't want to see them going lower below that. Oh, come on. More stops taken out. So those who were happy that bought here, right, already been stopped out. This 15-minute candle, still 5 minutes to go. Doesn't look good yet. Yeah, it's time to move higher, guys. Definitely it's time to move higher. Okay, I'm moving my stop even higher. So now narrowing the loss to 8 pips. Market is trying to hold 1500 on the gold, but we have the possible supply a little bit higher, waiting patiently. Looks like tough times for my long. And that could be the reason. Looks like the politicians and politics taking over what is going on the market. Anyway, time to make the break. First break today. Going to be back around the top of the hour. We will see where we are from the hourly chart perspective, and we will see where is dollar yen and if there is any chart setup base on the 4 charts we are watching today. So I'm going to mute my microphone. Charts are visible. Enjoy your break, guys.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Hi guys, good afternoon again. Second part of our today's meeting. We are covering GDP, US GDP live here, Liteforex Global YouTube channel. Looks like that's what we discussed ahead of the break. Looks like the politicians are taking over what is going on the stocks. I wouldn't say great number, but wasn't bad, and there was a chance that the especially dollar yen might see higher levels. But as we can see here, the weekly open for the whole European session, that was almost like, you know, impossible to break and move higher. I'm working with my long. My initial stop was something like 18, no, even longer, but I narrow it to 8 pips right now based on the current market situation. Watching carefully. I don't like, the good thing is that on this 15-minute chart, we have this, instead of the very bearish, very dovish candle, looks like the bears were able to make it high wave candle. So still a little bit of the chance that this position will survive. We will see. Now, euro dollar, there is another similar in size correction to the upside. Not quite what I would like to have, but you know, I'm not gonna discuss with the market as long as I cannot move the market. So then I cannot say, Mr. Market, you are wrong or you are not wrong, right? I can prove that market is wrong once I can move the market. Anyway, still think that we might see some action to the upside, hitting some stops above the Tokyo high. Why? We have right now around the 925, this triple bottom on the euro dollar. Plenty of options. 925 was 1 billion. Looks like the options traders are already working with that. So move back towards 110, where is a 6 billion in expiration. That could be the case. I've been stopped out on my dollar yen long position with 8 pips loss right now. So we will see if there is a possibility to recover somewhere this loss. So I'm not in rush. I'm not in rush to trade the short side of the euro dollar here, while we are from the higher time frame perspective, right? We are right at support, this triple bottom right now. Okay, so maybe a little bit higher in case of failure around, let's say, Tokyo high, for example, right? There is a yesterday supply over here, so there might be opportunity, but a little bit later during the day on the euro dollar. Today's meeting is strictly connected to the GDP, so probably slowly the dust is settled. So it was supposed to be like 45 minutes only. We are expanding this one. Let's wait and see what's going to happen around US cash open, and then we'll see what next. So the politics is taking over here all these impeachment inquiries. Right now we have US House panel received the classified whistleblower complaint from office of the director of the national intelligence. So you know, plenty of this things are going to make you know, the charts a little. We have to look at the charts a little bit different way. And if we are going to add, it's end of the quarter, end of the month, so we should have the full picture here, right? So what next with dollar yen? The next is the wave of the stops below this recovery level yesterday to create this over under. So Monday low as a next target probably. Also, this dollar index, what we discussed. Let's have a look at the dollar index, guys. So the dollar index also suggests, you know, there is fight going on right now based on this daily chart, based on where we are currently. So if you've seen the educational webinars I held in June, when we were talking, for example, about the swing trading, so you know what I'm talking about. It was exact retouch. There was a stop count based on the price action from the 12th of September high. We hit higher height, but we are fighting with this swing high from the very beginning of the September, right? So a little bit of the rejection here is going on right now. But I wouldn't say it's end for the dollar, and you know, it is not yet. So let's switch lower here. Let's have a look what might be the next. Nice, this type of the double top. From the intraday perspective, we might see a little bit more dollar weakness. Let me remove few lines. We might see a little bit more dollar weakness in case of the break of this level. So we might see move down, retest, and continuation to the downside. If that's going to happen, that could be translated into euro dollar above 109.80, 110, and that could produce that might be midweek reversal, right? Of course, I would love to see midweek reversals both sides, but not towards the end of the quarter and the end of the month, where all those might be quickly reversed to the opposite again. So let's get back to platform. Okay. Watching this euro dollar and via euro pound, so overall looks like it's some kind of the move related to the euro only right now. Don't forget, guys, within the next 20 minutes we have a Draghi, then we have a Carney, and finally Bullard, right, and pending home sales. And the pending home sales right with the option expiration. Pre-market DJ was testing the levels we were discussing yesterday, day before. So I'm going to watch DJ a little bit later, and I'm interested in second part of the session today, when some things related to the end of the month, when those guys want to settle some things. We are above the weekly open with what we've seen yesterday. We hit that supply, we discussed it. There is a top of the channel, but it's all done ahead of the regular cash market open. So I want to see some kind of the retest of these highs more or less, and then I will decide what next. So we hit that stops, we hit the top of the channel we discussed before. So it might be time to look for this selling opportunity, but you know, still window dressing somewhere in the back of my head. Okay, euro is moving. Euro is on the move. If we are going to work out Monday high, then the weekly open 10.15 might be the case, right? In that case, I would love to see retest and over under created somewhere here. So 940, 925, it's gonna be the level to watch when we see this type of the price action, let's say, right? Then some kind of the pullback and eventually continuation. We'll see. At the same time, gold is recovering, so going to watch the gold as well. So taking into the consideration this latest move, that current correction is the latest, right? After the retest of the PMI, so that's the biggest correction. Now let's talk about this post PMI correction. So it's, yeah, this supply level around 85. So that's where we might see some kind of the correction back towards 45, for example. Okay. And that might be pure options related move, nothing else. But about this unusual price action ahead of the end of the quarter, end of the month, I've been talking for quite a while. And if we are going to add this impeachment inquiries and the politicians who are trying to take over the scene, so then that's the full picture of what we may have. No, from the European top or Tokyo top to the bottom, there was less than 40 pips, so come on. Some time ago, like before I went for a short break, I've been mentioning that we are preparing something interesting, and we are almost done with that. Hopefully that's gonna be interesting. It should start in the mid-October. There might be a little bit of the delay, but I think you are going to like it. I think you are going to like it. At the very beginning, of course, it's gonna be like a pilot because it's going to be in a testing period, and some more details to provide are needed. Well, I'm not gonna share full details today. But that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting, especially for those who are watching market a bit longer. So we hit this supply based on what we've seen during the Tokyo session. So that's the Tokyo supply here. Tiny reaction. Looks like market may want to wait for Draghi. The size of the correction no longer needed here. A little bit of the cleaning. So let's wait for a second, guys. Nothing extraordinary is going on right now. So let's wait for this Draghi speech, and yeah, I'm going to mute my microphone for a second. You know, nothing for me right here, right now. And then Draghi and the US cash open, and we'll try to check the DJ. Maybe there are going to be something on the indices. But for me personally, and based on what I've seen for many times already, the second part of the US session got the chance to be much more interesting. So watching carefully here. I'll be back for US cash open. Okay, USA. Let's have a look what we have here. That's the 3rd minute, so meaning the 3rd candle. So that's the open for now is the highest level. That's the lowest right now. We'll see. Well, I would like to see some retest of the higher levels ahead of the decision before I decide to go short. But it might be move down, consolidation, attempt to go higher, and then rejection eventually. Looking for Draghi comment, but I can't see anything right here. Maybe I missed something. Options we discussed today. Lower low. So very weak first 5 minutes, first 4 minutes. The last minutes, let's have a look if there is a sudden rally and break through the cash open. But guys, don't forget it might be just weekly open retest, right? So we have to be patient and ooh la la. If they are going to close with this first 5 minutes trading range below the weekly open, that the things might get interesting immediately. Okay, so in case of the breakdown, 26,900 might be the target. Well, we'll see where we are towards when we are talking about the yesterday close. So that's the level of the stops, and probably we are going to see these levels to be taken out, these liquidity levels. And that's the target in that case. So let's watch. Let's try not to miss the entry by 6 points as I did 2 days ago. Dollar yen might get one more chance from me around this 107.30, 107.25, but that has to be in tandem with the stocks moving back higher. It looks like the stocks want to go and hit that liquidity immediately right now, right here. In the meantime, Bitcoin is trying to take out Tuesday low. Not good. Quick educational lesson. That would be great if happened during the cash market only, but that's the combination with the pre-market. So I don't like this one. It's a fall under own weight, especially where there is a possibility of everyone is waiting for the continuation, right, higher, but because of the supply based on the higher time frame, it usually works like this, and it works so nice during the regular session and on FX as well, meaning that that was the first wave to the downside. The bounce hit 61.8, so with another move down and bounce should be 61.8 as well. Let's have a look. And boom, David Copperfield is working fine, right? But it's not in my, it wasn't in my interest because of the two moves were ahead of the cash open, so it wasn't in my interest. But that was the quick education, quick lesson for you for the future. So problems around the weekly open. Haven't we seen same stuff with dollar yen? Well, and if that would be mid of the month, whatever, but not end of the month and not end of the quarter, that would be nice short setup here around this weekly open. We might see right now the V. Hopefully you like that lesson, short lesson. If that's the case, hit the like button. Invite your friends next time to enjoy with us. We have to build a community around our meetings, guys. So DJ is trying to hit the stops. In the meantime, the same time, dollar yen is trying to retest and make this over under in play, and V formation euro dollar. So if DJ will hit the stops, will recover. We might see recovery from 107.30.25 on dollar yen to the upside. At the same time, pullback on euro dollar towards 109.40, and then that's where the real game will start probably. Just a reminder, still think from the higher time frame perspective. Of course, I might be totally wrong because they are trying to create this swing high here right now. But I think we missed this 109 level. So I don't know how, but I truly believe they're going to hit that one. And that might be the short opportunity. Let's see. Dollar yen trying to find some stops. Looks like similar situation with the DJ. The spike to the upside on the dollar yen could be on in tandem with the stocks. Let's say, having in mind what President Trump wrote yesterday, that the deal with China may come quicker than anyone think. So yeah, that could produce the spike. But I think market is already tired, and that's gonna be the spike only, which might be used to try to short. Of course, not the first spike. You wanna see the spike, and then either two lower highs on the smaller time frame, like 15-minute chart, something like that was on a minute chart on euro dollar probably. Yeah. Then you want after the spike I'm talking about, you wanna see this type of the price action, right, and then move down. Okay, that's what you can use, and I'm gonna to share with you how to make the exact entry, but that's what we are going to discuss in October. There are some changes going on. Again, reminder, from the mid of October, I think that's what we are preparing. You will like it. So yeah, there are gonna be from time to time very short educational lessons as well for you to understand what we do and why we do. So stay tuned. Well, didn't quite get there yet. One more time, fight with weekly open. Where is crude? Crude is falling, and crude there might be the setup we discussed for the last 2 days. So yeah, we almost 2 hours already together. There was supposed to be 45 minutes meeting related to the GDP, but yeah, let's wait for the US data, for the option expiration. Let's check few ticks after that, and let's make the summary. So a little bit of the break ahead of the US data. I'll be back shortly. WTO to authorize United States to impose tariffs on around 7.5 billion of EU goods in aircraft subsidy dispute sources. But that's the old. I've seen that yesterday as well. So I would like to see on euro dollar, I would like to see retest of the 109.4540 to see what's going to happen here from current level. That might create the opportunity to try to long euro dollar, right? On the other hand, if we are going to go straight towards 110, I might look for a tiny short opportunity. For now, dollar yen, I'm looking the dollar yen, just a reminder, I've been stopped at 8 pips. It might get one more chance around 107.3025, but only in case we see the DJ recovering and moving back above the weekly open eventually, right? And I'm going to focus on gold as well, and looking to sell gold on rallies towards this yellow box. It's in between 17 and 22, and looking to sell DJ, but I want to see some kind, big move to the upside. So meaning that we're trying to break below first 5-minute trading range, trying to hold below, but once we're going to back above the weekly open, if we are going to make the measure of the first 5-minute trading range and we are going to move it a little bit to the upside, that's gonna create the opportunity to hit those pre-market stops. That's what I wanna see as the first thing. The second thing, I wanna see some kind of the rejection. So on the move back, I'm gonna to try to join the party below 27.55, 27.50, all right, 27.055, 27.050. So that's how I see the things on the DJ, and that's it, guys. I'm gonna to focus on the main instruments because that's where we got the chance to have some kind of the liquidity. There is no liquidity on the market currently. If you think that the repo Fed is doing is accidentally done, you are dead wrong, right? There is no liquidity and Fed is providing the liquidity. So that's one of the reasons I'm little bit bearish, but I've been explaining that already. That market may stay irrational for a little bit longer than what we are able to hold against the current market move, right? Of course, the higher liquidity for the last 10-11 years worked fine from the risk perspective. So I'm not surprised that it works on the imagination, and some are trying to buy the risk. But yeah, at some point market is going to react in a proper way, and the current, don't get me wrong, that's what I've been explaining during the conversation with Michał. I've seen when the financial crisis came, 2008, I've been on the market around the 10 years or a little bit more. On FX, I've been like 8 years. It's right now, 10 years later, and when I'm trying to remind myself what was going on, I've been trying to short DAX quite a few times right ahead of this huge drop. And finally, I hit that huge move to the downside. But the current, I wouldn't say it's very similar, but there are some things which are similar to what we've seen back to the 2007, 2008. So it's not going to happen overnight, right? But something might be cooking here. All right, so summarize is done. I'm not gonna be in rush today. Of course, if the situation will change, I might use a little bit different opportunities to try to join the market, but that's what we are working on, and it should be available from the mid-October, maybe a little bit later than the mid-October. That some of my moves are gonna be updated, and that's, yeah. You will see, and I'm pretty sure you will like it. But you have to, guys, be more active on the chat. There's not many of us here, I know. That's why I've mentioned that it's time to start to create the community around our meetings. Invite your friends if you like it. You have to be more active on the chat, guys. Okay, so DJ hit those stops to the downside finally with immediate reaction to the upside. That was expected. Now the question is if the algo are going to be able to push a little bit higher, or the first part of the US session is going to be to the downside. If that's the case, then beginning of the second part of the US session, you want to see retest at least of the weekly open and failure, and that might be another short setup in case we are not going to see the rally above the pre-market high. That could be the solution as well. Euro is fighting with this Monday low right now. So the stops, when we are talking about the Tokyo high, are done. One minute data, and yeah, we will see if there is any kind of the move. So 09.25 on euro dollar, the option expiration defended, well defended. Congrats to option traders. There was a 1 billion in expiration. 10 seconds. Let's have a look what we are going to get. But guys, it might not be reaction to the pending home sales. It might be reaction to the Bullard speaks. So be careful. And around the Europe close, we also have a Clarida, another dove. 8 a.m. CET tomorrow morning, pre-London live market coverage only here, Liteforex Global YouTube channel. You are more than welcome to join me tomorrow. Pending home sales, better. Month to month, year to year, not necessarily. There you go, on the chat window. So of course, algo are reacting. The question is about the Bullard. I'm looking for any kind of the statement from his side. Haven't seen yet. So, stops are done. If you are brave enough, that soon might be some kind of a short setup. In case we are going to break through this previous 15 minutes candle and close below, right? Then retest, and 945 might be the target. But because it's so close to the important level from the higher time frame, I'm not gonna be that brave. So I'm not looking for a short here. As I mentioned, closer to this supply level from yesterday. All right. That was during the New York session, and it hasn't been retested yet, so that could be the case here. I may want to see what's going to happen around 109.40 from this over-under trade perspective. So there are possibility that the euro might be traded both sides. Dollar yen again 107.30.25 in case of the recovery of the DJ. DJ retested weekly open and is pulling back. And finally gold, which might spike higher in case of this huge politician mess in US, of this impeachment inquiry, this things related to the whistleblower. We might simply see the spike through the stops, but based on the chart, that's what I'm gonna to look for on the gold. All right. If you have any questions, that's a very good moment to ask these questions. That's it from my side, guys. It was a pleasure to be with you here again. See you again tomorrow morning. Don't be trapped this afternoon. Only green pips for you. Have a great rest of the New York session. Thank you very much and goodbye, guys.